Welcome to day one of Laura's 30-day manifestation challenge. We are so happy to have you here. And by we, I mean me, Gabrielle, whose voice you're going to be hearing throughout this entire challenge, and Laura, the beautiful wisdom that I channel, and they are going to be the brains behind everything that I say in these next 30 days. So we are in phase one, of course, which is the phase of choosing your manifestation. Now, hopefully you watch the videos on under the Start Here part of the resource library, where we explain the 4 phases of this challenge. Before we can begin choosing our manifestation, we're actually going to talk about the ego. So Laura was very adamant about day one being focused on the ego. Now, for those of you who may have heard the term ego, but are a little confused about what it actually is, here is Laura's explanation. The ego is a very humanized thing. It is that voice in your head that tells you are not good enough, you are not worthy enough, you are stupid, you're not smart, you can't make money, and most importantly, the voice that tells you that your manifestation is not coming in. So we want to really familiarize you with your ego and have you get very familiar with where it is in your body and the feeling of it. So in a moment, we are going to do the first exercise of this challenge, which is going to be an ego body scan. So much of this challenge is going to be centered around safety. We have to understand and have the awareness of what is making your body feel unsafe receiving this manifestation so that we can look at that, nurture it, process it, love on it, and let it go. Release it out. For us to be able to release parts of the ego, we have to feel our way through it, which is why this challenge is 30 days long. So let's begin. We are going to invite you to sit or lay down, whatever is most comfortable. We'll give you a minute to situate yourself here. And when you're ready, let's take a big breath in together and exhale it out. We're going to do 2 more to really ground your body. And on that exhale, we want to hear it. We want you to let that exhale out. That's letting the tension out. That's letting any stress out of your body. Big inhale. And exhale. Big inhale. And big exhale. If you have not already, we invite you to close your eyes, assuming it's safe for you to do so. Please only do this exercise if you are not driving, and it is safe for you to shut your eyes and be present. So we're going to ask you a few questions. And we want you to really tune in to the feeling of your body, not what your mind is telling you, what your body is communicating with you. We invite you to locate your ego in your body. Where is your ego? What does your ego look like? What does your ego feel like? What's the weight of your ego? What is the texture of it if you were to touch it? How much space in your body does the ego take up? What has your ego been telling you? How has your ego been keeping you safe? What has your ego been preventing you from calling forward? And we're going to ask you this question one more time to really embed this feeling into your conscious mind. What does your ego feel like in your body? We invite you now to open your eyes. Some of you may be able to remember those answers. Some of you may have to write them down. Gabrielle, personally, she writes all of those down just in case so that she doesn't ever forget them. So if you have a pen or paper near you, or you want to get up to grab a pen or paper and list those answers out, we invite you to do that now while we share a few more thoughts around the ego. There are a lot of things out there that say the ego is bad and that you should not like the ego. We don't want you to do that. The ego is so important. It shows you the opposite of what you want. And the opposite of what you want is we can't put into human words how incredibly important that is for you. So we invite you to nurture the ego. Look at it with love. And remind yourself that you are a soul having a human experience, which means that it is 50% ego, because the ego is very much humanized, and then 50% of the spiritual journey. Now, we don't have to give all of your focus into that ego, and that is what we want. We don't want you to give all your focus to it, but we don't want you to dislike the ego. We don't want you to try to run from the ego. We just want you to acknowledge what is ego and what is true alignment. We're going to start with this exercise. And then throughout this challenge, we're going to help you get into a state of alignment where you can familiarize yourself with that feeling in your body so you know how to make decisions with your alignment. You know how, when you are operating out of ego or you are operating out of your alignment. When you manifest, right, what you are saying is we want to manipulate the laws of the universe. We want to leverage the laws of the universe here. And what we can absolutely share with you is that when you do transition, which everyone does, everything up here in the spiritual realm is based out of love. Everything. Ego does not exist up here. So we wanted to start this challenge with you getting familiar with your ego so that you know when to shut it off, because it does not hold space within your manifestations. It prevents manifestations. And we can't have that because we have 30 days to call forward whatever you choose to call forward. So the more familiar you are with what your ego is telling you, the easier this challenge is going to be. So we invite you to write down those answers, ground in those answers. Don't judge any of the answers. This may be the first time you've ever heard the word ego. It may be the first time you've ever felt your way through your ego. We love the ego. It is so important. And it's not what's going to be driving our manifestations. It is not what's going to be in the driver's seat throughout this entire challenge. So let's give it its shine now on day one. And tomorrow we're going to start getting into some fun stuff. Thank you so much for showing up today. Any questions or any support you need, please don't hesitate to let us know. We are really excited to see you tomorrow, and we'll talk to you soon.